everybody, and welcome in. This is going to be our ad breakdown for April 9th through April 15th. Should be the beginning of the Easter ads. And I know Fry's in particular is running, their ham's already on sale, shank butt and spiral cut. And then we'll look through the rest of these ads and see what we have, see what they have to offer. So we're going to start with the Safeway ad today, and we're going to go through these. Remember, my name's Tom. I go through the weekly ads and try to find you some of the best competitive deals in your local Arizona market, with your Albertsons, Safeway, Fry's, and Bashas'. And then remember, places like Smith's, some of the outlining areas have Smith's in their towns, and those are also covered under the Fry's ad. Most of the Smith's are the same. They're owned by Kroger. All right, so let's get into this. So the first thing I'm seeing in Albertsons Safeway ad is, so you have USDA boneless choice London broil or top round roast for $3.99. This is a good price. $3.99 a pound for a decent slicing roast. Remember, Fry's, a couple weeks ago, they had their bottom round and London broil top round ad for $2.77 a pound. And that was a really smoking hot deal. But at $3.99, that's a pretty good deal. And man, top round London broil, really good for beef jerky especially. And those are both very nice slicing roasts. Very good for making stew meat, stir fry, chop suey, things like that. Top round, bottom round roasts, they have a lot of different uses as well. Very lean piece of meat coming from the round. The round's part of the butt of the cow. And it's used a lot, unfortunately, and that's what makes it pretty tough. But it's nice and lean, and that's the ticket. And you just need to add flavors to it and be creative with it. So next we have assorted chops on sale, shoulder steaks, and country style ribs at $1.99. I gotta admit, Albertsons Safeway, they've been going at it with their ads. They're really trying to drive their customer count and trying to get you in their stores with really hot front page items. And assorted chops, shoulder steaks, and country style ribs at $1.99 a pound is a pretty fair price. Remember, it's a value pack that you're going to have to buy, so you're going to have to buy a pretty large amount of this product, but I think well worth the dollar. If you're looking at Fry's right now, $3.49 a pound. And I believe Bashas' has a deal on, I want to say their sirloin chops. We'll get into that in just a little bit. So we also have a 21-25 count easy peel shrimp. This is a raw shrimp for $4.99 a pound. 2 pound bag, $9.98 a bag. That's a great deal. I mean, that's a good deal in the market of shrimp. And then lobster tails, 3 to 4 ounces, $6.99. That's kind of an average price. Alaskan halibut portions, fresh, 5 ounce portion for $7.99. Well, that makes that thing about 20 something dollars a pound. For halibut, it's not the best, not the worst. Atlantic salmon, $8.99. That's pretty average Joe price at Fry's. And $9.99 on snow crab clusters. And that's pretty average price as well in the market. But hey, look at this. You have a digital offer the 9th through the 15th. So this runs all week and has a limit of 1. And your chicken breast is $1.97 a pound. That's $1 a pound cheaper than normally. Like I told you guys in the past, the $2.99 a pound for your boneless, skinless breast, just the store brand one with the salt and the extra stuff in it. Unfortunately, that's a good price at $1.97. Normally it'd be $2.99, so you're saving $1 a pound. And then probably the best deal in all the ads is this 97-cent grapes. Man, who doesn't love red and green grapes? And at 97 cents a pound, wow, that is a smoking deal. And here's another digital deal for your Coke and Pepsi products, Dr. Pepper products, 2-liter bottle for $1.47 each. Boy, that is a good one. Let's click on that real quick. 147 each. Limit one. Limit one. So you get 1 2-liter bottle. So don't be, I can always tell you when you're looking at buy one, get one free deals, buy two, get three free, buy two, get one free, these buy one, get one free deals, you really got to look at the regular price and see what they're charging you regular price wise and then calculate. Remember, like I told you before in the past, you look on that tag and it'll tell you how much you're paying per ounce, and that's a good indicator of how much you're saving. But hey, $1.47 gets you a 2-liter bottle of soda for $1.47. That's not terrible. And then Yoplait yogurt at 37 cents each. I would guess that it's only a couple of them that you can get, and that's the unfortunate part of that digital deal. Here we go. Here's a buy two, get two free on Coke and Pepsi 12 packs. That's not too bad. We've seen that in multiple weeks now, at one store or the other. And you'll see this trend of, each store is kind of bouncing back and forth between these same kind of marketing strategies, trying to get you into their store. Powerade at 89 cents each is pretty fair, and probably a pretty high limit on that. I'm sure you can get quite a few of those. So if you're one of those stores out there that sells, Powerade, 89 cents each, that's pretty good. You can probably get a pretty good upcharge on that in your store. And let's rotate back up into this ad a little bit. So you have 80% lean ground beef at $3.99 a pound, sold in the value pack. This is a 3 to 5 pound pack that you're probably going to have to buy. It's not bad. It's not bad. Remember we saw, I think it was Bash's or one of them last week that had it for $3.29 a pound, sold in the value pack. And I think another store had it at $3.99 a pound. So here again, here's one of those pretty decent deals on a hamburger. $3.99 a pound, 20% fat, 80% beef, and not too bad. Head lettuce, 99 cents, not terrible. So, Safeway and Albertsons are pumping out the deals as usual, trying to get you in their stores, hoping that you'll buy some of their really high-priced other items, really high gross profit priced other items. You remember Fry's had a Red Baron pizza at $2.99 each last week, and here's a coupon for $4.49, so that's okay. Sara Lee bread at $2.99, that's not a bad one. That's a pretty good price, about $1 or about $2 a loaf savings on that one. Weekly sale, let's see what this is. Baby back ribs, $1.99 a pound. Voila. Remember, most stores had these ribs on sale for $3.99 last week, so here we are. We had a week at a little higher price, and then right back to one of these competitors running a good price on a baby back rib. Hell yeah, you guys. Sweet corn, 5 years for $1. That is a smoking deal. Less than 25 cents an ear, and that is well worth going in their store to pick up. Let's see if they have a limit on this one. So if you buy more than the 5, so the first 5 you get for $1, and then after that they're 79 cents each. So they get you can only buy the 5 years. So if you got a bigger family than that, unfortunately, you got to spend a little bit more money. Let's click on this. Keystone 15 pack. Miller High Light 12 pack and Busch Light 12 pack. It's $7.99 each. Man, that's not bad, honestly. For those products, if you happen to like Busch, Keystone, or Miller Lite, not bad at all. Oh, Butcher's Choice Tri-Tip Steak is sold in the value pack, so you got buy a pretty large pack of this stuff, but it's $6.99 a pound. That's a pretty darn good price for tri-tip steaks. I would hope that you can get the roast at that price as well, but you'll have to check on that. Sometimes it's just the steak. They're just trying to get you to buy this one cut, and then they're going to upcharge you for the roast if you want to buy the roast. A lot of people like to throw those tri-tips on the grill, fat down. or on the smoker, and it makes for a really good barbecue. Really good barbecuing time. $6.99 a pound on stew meat. That's pretty darn decent for stew. But up here at the top, you guys, we had, you know, your beef London broil and top round roast for $3.99. That right there makes wonderful stew meat. So there's no reason to buy a pack of stew meat when you can just cut it up yourself at home. You know, don't be afraid. Go out and get yourself a decent set of knives. Learn how to use them. Learn how to sharpen them. I can show you. If you guys have questions on how to sharpen knives, I will show you how to sharpen knives. And we can hold a whole episode on knife sharpening. Ooh, bananas, 49 cents each. It's a digital deal. It's not bad. Farmland bacon at $3.99. Farmland is a 16-ounce pack at $3.99. That is a very competitive savings. Anytime you can get that full pound of bacon for $3.99 and under, you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job in saving some money. Let's keep rolling down this ad a little bit. See, you look at Safeway Albertsons, they're really not running any kind of Easter deal yet. So they're not pushing a ham sale yet, unless they're going to run some kind of weekend sale on their ham. So you're going to see in just a minute, it looks like Fry's is getting out ahead of the competition and running their ham on sale a week early than most of their competitors. All right, you guys, let's switch over to the Bash's ad. All right, let's take a look at Bash's. Oh, here's Bash's running. They're 80% lean ground beef, 80% meat, 20% fat for just $2.99 a pound, and limit to 2 value packs you can get. So you can get a lot of 80%, make a whole bunch of patties for the weekend at $2.99 a pound, and that's definitely worth rolling into Bash's and picking that up. That's going to save you quite a few dollars. Here's another deal on shrimp at $4.99 a pound, 26 to 30 raw. This one's a peeled. Well, it's an easy peel, so it has the shell on it, it has the tail on it. Unfortunately, sold in a 2-pound bag for $9.98. So you got to do a little work with that one. But hell, at $4.99 a pound for a pretty good sized large shrimp, that's a decent deal. And you saw that same deal in the Safeway Albertsons ads as well. Then they're running $5.99 boneless bottom round, cross rib, and chuck roast. You know how I feel about chuck roast. Chuck roast is one of those industry standards. It's just, my opinion, it's one of the best roasts. It has the fat to it. It's really going to shred up quickly. 4 to 6 hours, you can get that to really fall apart, and it's just a great roast. And then if you need that good old-fashioned slicing roast or chop suey, stir fry, stew meat, you buy the bottom round roast. And even that cross rib roast is definitely the leaner cousin to the chuck roast. That would make some really good stew meat as well. But unfortunately, the cross rib has a little bit of sinew that runs right through the middle of that thing, and it takes a little time for that to break down. So when you slow cook that cross rib, it will act like a chuck roast and slow cook and break down pretty fast. But if you're doing it like a stew, where you're doing a stew kind of quick and you're not taking the time with it, you might have some tough spots with the cross rib roast cut up into stew meat. Here's Bash's running $2.99 a pound on their boneless, skinless breast and thighs. This is a pretty average price for them. Boneless, skinless breast and thighs at $2.99. Bash's runs this almost every single week, so that's one of their standard prices when you roll into a Bash's store. Strawberries, 2 for $5, 16-ounce pack, so $2.50 a pack. That's not terrible. It's not terrible at all. Now here's another price. So where they limit you quite a bit in the Safeway Albertsons ad as far as how much grapes you can get at that real low price that they were offering, you can go into Bash's and get red grapes, green grapes, and then the wine grapes as well for $1.69 a pound. That's not terrible. That's worth it. While you're in there picking up that lean ground beef, you might as well get some nice, sweet, delectable grapes. Buy 2, get 2 free. We've seen this over the last few weeks. On the 6-pack bottles. Just depends, you guys, on what that regular price is for them and what the savings is. Really look at your tag and read your tag. Make sure and bring your glasses so that you can read the fine print of those ad papers and those ad signs, as well as your tags in front of this product. Buy 2, get 1 free on Doritos. let's see. Let's take a look at this. See, here we got, you know, Michelob Ultra, Corona, and 805 for $15.99. That's kind of a regular price. That's not even worth mentioning. Here's Sara Lee products, hamburger buns, and bread. Sara Lee's a pretty good product, in my opinion, for $2.99 a loaf. That's a good price. Miami beef patties. God, I've never even really heard of these things before. 2.66 pounds. That's an odd pounds weight too for $7.99 each. That's one of their digital membership prices. You'd have to go out and check. You have to go out and actually look at that product and see what they're offering to really see if that's a decent deal. Their breakdown is showing it to be a decent deal. They're regularly $10.99 to $12.79 each, and then, you know, on sale for $9.99, and then with your digital coupon you get it for $7.99. So that might be a decent deal. That might be a decent deal. Charmin Ultra bath tissue. God, it depends on the sizes, you know, and how much they're upcharging you. $15.99 if it's the big pack. $15.99 isn't terrible, but man, at Fry's you can get like a 24 to 48 pack for $9.99 or something like that, just at Fry's, and that's not even heading to Albertsons, or head to Walmart or something like that and checking out their toilet paper deals, which you can always find a pretty good price at Walmart. I don't know, actually lately I've been kind of getting at Home Depot. You can find a pretty good price on toilet paper and toiletries in general. And I've been shopping them from time to time too. Here's pork sirloin country style ribs for $1.39. This is a 3-day sale. Man, $1.39 for some freaking ribs that you can throw on the smoker or throw on the grill. Boy, that's cheap. $1.39. That's one of the cheapest pork prices in the market right now. You had the $1.99 assorted chops, Safeway Albertsons, and then they had a country style rib. I think the sirloin rib is a much better rib than what they were offering. It was a country style rib at the Safeway Albertsons. So this pork sirloin country style rib, it's nice and lean, but it's also going to be nice and tender as well. So that's a really good price, you guys, on a 3-day sale, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it might be worth, you know, on the weekend heading into Bashas' to pick up some of these good deals. 99 cents a pound on tomatoes on the vine. That's okay. Let's roll down this Bashas' ad a little bit more and see what other kind of little savings they're offering. Oh man, even these digital prices on, like, here's a Tide and a Cottonelle and Puffs, Kleenex, paper plates. God, they just don't look like they're offering the best prices on these things. $12.99 ribeye steak. That's kind of average market price. Cube steak at $6.99, very average. And remember, you know, a lot of the times they're making cube steak sometimes out of their bottom round. So, you know, I don't know. They're trying to upsell you a little bit on that cube steak to try to offset the cost for your bottom round roasts on the front page. Twice baked potato for $2.50 each. I'd rather make my own baked potatoes, so much easier. I'm not seeing the Idaho potato yet. Remember, Bashas' has been running some smoking deals in that 5-pound bag of Idaho potatoes, but I'm not seeing it yet in this ad. We'll scroll down a little bit more and see. $6.99 for a chuck steak. Nothing special. Norwegian salmon at $10.99. It's farm raised, so that's not a great deal to me. $4.99 for your beef patties. They're trying to upsell you. Bashas' will make their patties from scratch, and that's definitely them trying to upsell you a little bit. Let's see what else we have rolling in our Bashas' ad. Here's a digital deal. Oh, here's a good one on a Fireball. Boy, if you're looking to have a little Fireball party, regular price is $31.99. Thank you price is $22.99, and then with your digital, it's $19.99. 1.75 liter. I don't buy Fireball all the time, so I'm not sure if that's a real good savings, but I would just take a look at that and see. Here we go. Let's click on this. So you got Budweiser, Miller, Coors, and Tecate. 18 pack, 12 ounce, 12 pack, and 16 ounce aluminum bottle Tecate cans. That's not terrible. $13.99. Limit 2 Budweiser, Miller products, Coors products, and Tecate products at $13.99 if you're looking to party a little bit. Buy 2 get 2 free on your Coke or on your Pepsi products. It's not bad. Just again, when you're dealing with your buy one get one or buy 2 get 2, just look at what that regular price is so that you know what you're going to pay per 2-liter bottle, and really kind of see if that's a good deal. Buy 2 get 1 free on Ruffles. That's not a very good savings. $4.99 on Lay's. My lord, I'm sure somebody's running a better deal than that. Let's see what else we got going on here. That looks like about it. You know, Bash's is running a pretty decent, grilling sale, or burgers, tacos, or roast, or shrimp. Average price on chicken, and a pretty good price on red and green grapes. And then buy 2 get 2 free on your Coke and Pepsi 6-packs. So that's your big deal for those guys. Bash's is okay. I think Safeway Albertsons is still kind of kicking it out of the park, or hitting it out of the park with their front page ad. They're really trying to drive you in. But at Bash's at $2.99 for their lean ground beef. That's a pretty smoking deal for lean ground beef, and that beats Albertsons Safeway by at least $1 a pound. Remember, both of these stores, you're going to have to buy a value pack of that product, which is going to be 3 to 5 pounds. All right, let's kick over to the Fry's ad. Let's take a look at what they're running. Oh, and you see the Easter ad already kicking off. 97-cent spiral cut Kroger ham. And that's a good deal. Sugardale ham portions. It's going to be shank and butt portions. Remember, that's not the whole halves. It's a portion. So they are a little bit smaller. They've taken a few ham steaks out of the middle of those hams to make them a portion rather than a half. And at 89 cents each, it's a pretty good price. Looks like with an additional $25 purchase, you can spend $25 in your sleep at any one of these stores. So for Fry's, $25, you're going to spend that easily in a store, and then be able to, take advantage of this deal. If you spend $50, you can get you a spiral cut ham and a Sugardale portion ham as well. 197 cents, 187 cents. This year, I'm personally going to take one of these Sugardale portion hams home, and I'm going to put it in the smoker, and I'm going to double smoke my ham. Most of them are smoked with hickory. I think I'm going to do a hickory mesquite or a hickory applewood smoke on my ham, and double smoke it and see what that tastes like and comes out. We'll let you know. Here's a pretty good deal right here. If you like the lean hamburger, this is a 93% lean, sold in the 2-pound pack for $3.99 a pound. This is a great savings, you guys. $3.99 a pound for a lean. That's 97% beef and only 7% fat. That's a great deal. Oh, and who's running the good potato price today or this week? Kroger. So you got Kroger russet potatoes, 5-pound bag, 2 for $3, $1.50 a piece. Bash's was kicking everybody's ass in those probably the last 3 weeks in a row, and here comes Kroger trying to throw out a really good price on potatoes. And you can do so much with potatoes. That really does kind of kick off any meal out there, in my opinion. $2.77 on Private Select, Heirloom, and Caracara Navel Oranges and Minnesota Tangelinos. 3-pound bag or a 2-pound bag for $2.77. That's not bad. Shit, that's not bad at all. I'm not unhappy with that. And here's Fry's running a cooked extra large shrimp, 26 to 32 count for $7.99 a pound. I mean, that's kind of, I think it's only like $1 a pound difference as far as savings. That's going to be what they run in their service counter, and then the 2-pound bag. Your service counter is probably going to be $8.99, and then if you buy it in a 2-pound bag, you can get it for $7.99. But this is stuff's only tail on, it's cooked and ready to go for $7.99 a pound. It's not terrible. 4 for $10 on Tostito, Cheetos, and Doritos items. When you buy 4, so you have to buy 4 bags to get that deal. That's not bad at $2.50 a bag. Not bad at all. Del Monte vegetables sold in the can for $1 each. That's a very good one. That's a good price as well. Here's a 30-pack of Bud, Miller, Coors, and Tecate for $21.99, but that's a 30-pack, you guys. That's a little better deal. Man, you'd really have to do some comparison shopping as far as what the actual price, per ounce, per fluid ounce in this situation is. And here comes our weekly digital ads. So what do we have here? $5.99 each on Coke and Pepsi products sold in the 12 packs. The Pepsi product's going to be that 15 pack. If you buy the Coke, it's going to be just a standard 12 pack at $5.99. I've seen better. We've all seen better. Fry's drinking water 40 pack at $3.99. That's a pretty decent deal right there. Now that's a good one. 2 pounds of strawberries for $2.49. Man, give it up to the produce department. Here we go, $2.49 for a strawberry shortcake. Man, and just strawberries in general. That's a good deal. You got Oscar Mayer Deli Fresh, and that's going to be their full line of, turkey, ham, all their full line of meats for $3.99 a pack, and Claussen pickles for $3.99. Claussen pickles are in the $4.99 range, and I want to say the Deli Fresh Oscar Mayer is also in that $4.99 range. So it's about $1 savings on each of those. Remember, with their digital deals at Fry's, you must buy 5 in that first purchase to really get a good savings. And then their Kroger gallon ice cream for $1.99. That's not bad for their digital ads. Here we go. Remember, we had bratwurst, Johnsonville bratwurst last week at $2.99. And a couple competitors. Here we are with one of their digital deals at $3.99. You can also get the stuff in your deli department or your wall deli, where you get your smoked sausage and hot dogs and things like that. They also sell a Johnsonville pre-packed sausage, and you can get those for $3.99. That's not terrible. That's not a terrible price at all. That's definitely worth going in there and getting it if you're looking on putting brats on the grill, or you like the pre-packed ones. Let's look through the rest of this thing. Yeah, that's a pretty good deal on laundry detergent. $3.99 for 30 to 34 fluid ounces for $3.99 each. That's a good one. If you need laundry soap. All right, let's start digging down into this a little bit more. If you like your energy drinks, Celsius energy drinks for $1.49 each. That's a digital deal as well, and you must buy 5 of those. Man, that's a great deal on that. $1.49 each. I bet you those are probably $2.99, $3, somewhere in that range. Then they're just throwing a little splash deal at you here on an Easter item. Save $1 when you buy 5 items. So these are just average sales. There's Sara Lee bread at $2.49 each. So if you buy 5 of any one of these, or of these items, you can save that $1 on each of them. And you can buy any of these advertised price. Take a look and look at that sign. Look at the color of this ad right here. And you'll be looking for that same color of tag in the store, because you'll be able to get your savings. And you might actually have to go and clip this one. Let's take a look here. Participating items. No, it's just when you buy 5, so you don't have to click this one. But if you buy 5 of any of these items, you get $1 off. That's not too bad. And there's quite a few things in here that are a pretty good price. Apple pie at $3.99 each. Kraft mayo at 99 cents each. Not bad at all. That's Boost member prices. So if you were in their Boost club, which is a yearly subscription for Kroger, or in this case Fry's and Smith's, and all their affiliates. You can get mayo for 99 cents, walnuts for $3.77, pie for $3.99, vegetable oil for $2.49. You got marshmallows at 99 cents, sugar at $1.49 for a 4-pound bag. Damn, that's pretty cheap. That's pretty cheap right there. And brown sugar, powdered sugar for 99 cents each. Man, that's a good one. So it might be worth it. You know, we've seen quite a few deals in their Boost members section the last couple weeks that have been pretty good savings. And I tell you, you hit on a few of these items, you'll really pay for that yearly subscription pretty quickly if you're able to stock up on some of these items and take advantage of the pricing. It might be worth it. Jennie-O oven roasted boneless breast turkey. This product sold frozen. You know, I've had these in the past. They're not too bad. $12.99, 2.75 pounds. It's an average Joe price. You're probably going to see, as you go into that Easter week, you're going to see a turkey deal. You know, they'll be running turkey deals, and hopefully they'll be running a decent deal on maybe a honeysuckle, you know, bone-in breast or something like that too. But if you just want something to throw in the oven that's going to be quick and easy, and it's kind of a smaller portion as well, if you have a smaller family and you're just trying to serve a little bit of turkey, $12.99 for that roast isn't bad. Isn't too bad. American Beauty pastas at 99 cents. See, here's C&H granulated sugar at $4.49. That's a 4-pound bag as well. So for that Kroger bag at $1.49, man, that's a pretty smoking deal. So I'm sorry guys, I can't tell the difference between C&H and the store-bought brands. I don't know if you can, but I sure in the hell can't. Pillsbury looks like just cake mixes, 2 for $3, so $1.50 each. Is not too shabby. And hey, tomorrow being my birthday, I'll have to suggest that to the fam. And then we scroll down here, we got some more Easter candy savings. Kroger cheeses, 6 to 8 ounce for $2.29 each. It's not terrible. Breakfast sausage at $3.49. I think we had them on sale last week at $2.99, so that's okay. Ooh, here we go. $1.49 a pound for navel oranges. To me, that's a pretty damn good savings right there. And the 8-pound bag, when you buy the big bag for $6.99. Remember, take a look at the ounces. Ounces per pound. Ounces per fluid ounce. You know, take a look at that ounces on the tag. How much you're buying per ounce, or how much you're saving per ounce. That's a very good indicator of your savings. Let's see. Let's look down this thing a little bit more. There we go. Foster Farms. Drumsticks, thighs, and whole fryers for $1.49 a pound. Right now, the regular price $1.79. That's 30 cents a pound. That's not terrible. Here's a 2-pound bag of hamburger patties for $9.99. Looks like Bash's had a much better deal at $7.99 on their digital deal. And then this is always a good product. This Wild Pacific salmon, and it's a full fillet of salmon. It's only 20 ounces, so you know, pound or so, or a little over a pound for $7.99. That is a good price and well worth taking advantage of. This is always a good looking product. I like it too because they etch the fillet, so it's already kind of portioned up for you in a way, and it makes for a pretty good cook. We have 24-ounce Mrs. Wright bacon. I love their Applewood bacon. That one's a good one. But at $8.99, that's a pretty decent deal for 24 ounces of bacon. Let's scroll down this just a little bit more and see if we have any more good deals in here. Leinenkugels, Sam Adams at $8.05 for $10.99 each. 12 packs. It's not terrible. It's not a terrible deal, you guys. And then we got Kroger large peeled shrimp and deveined raw shrimp for $5 a bag. So this is kind of one of their $5 deals. That's a very little small bag, so I think it's 10 ounces for that thing. So $5, you know, where we're seeing both at Bash's and at Safeway and Albertsons, they had a $4.99 shrimp, a much bigger shrimp, and at $4.99 a pound. I think it's a much better deal. Remember, as you scroll down your ads, you're not going to find as many good prices, but they'll throw a little splash deals at you, and then they're trying to upcharge you on a few things as well. And that's okay. That's just kind of the way the marketing goes, when you're looking at these ad papers. And that's it, you guys. That's it for the ads. So we had, pretty good roast deals for your Safeway, Albertsons, and Bash's deals. Both of them are throwing hamburger at you. Safeway, Albertsons at $2.99, Bash's at $3.99, and Bash's at $2.99. So they're kind of competing in the same market. Where here's Fry's, they're running a early Easter ad, running that spiral cut ham and shank and butt portion ham, 97 cents and 89 cents a pound. Then they're throwing that lean 93% at $3.99 a pound. That's got to be the best price for a lean hamburger in the market from all these stores. So man, in my opinion, come to Fry's. Get your ham. Get on that early. Hams do go pretty fast during Easter. And then just a little FYI and an early idea of a special thing for your Easter dinner is I know Fry's is going to be running a prime rib ad very, very soon. You guys keep your eyes out for that. You and I will talk about it. And I'll tell you how to take advantage of that price as well. So hey, thank you guys for spending some time with me. Please like and subscribe. That's what makes it all go round. I love doing this content. I love talking to you. I love talking about these ads and where I can save you money. If you guys have any questions, anything you would like to know from me, anything you'd like me to talk about, please let me know in the comments and we'll go through it. All right. Thank you. Bye now.